on a shooting at Debris Apartment 0 Northeast 46th Avenue. It looks like caller saying that he was shot twice by ICE.
As we hear from Homeland Security saying driver weaponized his vehicle and attempted to run them over. The agent fired a defensive shot. The driver drove off with his passenger. A little bit of an inconsistency in the statement, considering we understand both people were shot.
They've shot somebody else in Portland. 2 people actually in Portland. This is breaking news. I'm going to find you the best sources on it I possibly can. I cannot believe this is happening a second day in a row. Like, this is out of control. Check this out.
Late breaking news out of Oregon tonight. I know a lot of information just now coming in. Dana, what have you learned?
So we have learned that there's been a shooting involving 2 people in the Customs and Border Patrol. So this information coming from the FBI in Portland. They say the shooting happened around 2:15 this afternoon in the 1000 block of Main Street in Portland, again, involving Customs and Border Patrol agents, in which 2 people were wounded. We're also getting some more information from police who claim that a man had called police asking for help after being shot. They responded, found a man and a woman with apparent gunshot wounds.
This is the world we're living in now. People are having to call their local state, city police to say, help me, I've been shot by a federal agent. Like that. That's the world we live in. It's crazy.
Officers there applied a tourniquet. Both went to the hospital. Their conditions are unknown at this time. And we're getting a statement from the chief there, from the police chief, Bob Day. He says we are still in the early stages of this incident. He goes on to say we understand the heightened emotion and tension many are feeling in the wake of the shooting in Minneapolis, but I am asking the community to remain calm.
Yeah. What a sensible message to put out. That's going to work. Yeah, I know you guys are pretty mad about somebody getting murdered in cold daylight the other day, but and I was going to say calm down. Apparently, oopsie, they just shot 2 more, but can we keep it chill? It's like, how about stop fucking shooting people? How about that? Now, on the surface, information is a bit scarce right now, but I've done some digging. I'm going to tell you what I found out, because I do know a few more things than what that report just said. So check this out. This is how breaking this is. Homeland Security, if you can call it that these days, posted this 8 minutes ago. At 2:19 PST, U.S. Border Patrol agents were conducting a targeted vehicle stop in Portland, Oregon. The passenger of the vehicle and target is a Venezuelan illegal alien affiliated with a transnational Tren de Aragua prostitution ring and involved in a recent shooting in Portland. It's like, I wish it was possible to believe anything these fuckers say now. They'll lie to us about stuff that's in front of our face. The president of the country will he'll truth out, he'll lie out saying she tried to run over the officers. In an instant where somebody was clearly fleeing and at most grazed 1 person whilst turning away from them. They can't even be relied upon to report basic observable facts properly. They will show you a video where the sky is blue and be like, check out that rainbow flashing multicolor sky. I wish we as private citizens were allowed to go around and shoot people and be like, they were Venezuelan. They were a Venezuelan prostitute. That's fine. Totally fine. Kosher. What are you looking at me for, officer? Carry on, my good man. Now, obviously, this is a very developing story and we live in a post-truth world. But like I said, it's just so disappointing that, this could be total fucking horseshit. But anyway, they carry on. The vehicle driver is believed, conveniently, to be a member of the vicious Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. They had to say it twice. Transnational vicious. When agents, they could have said the same gang, but then they have to hysteria and fear. We like facts and logic. Hysteria and fear. When agents identified themselves, the vehicle occupants offered them a sandwich, a napkin, and a kiss on the head. The driver weaponized his vehicle and attempted to run over the law enforcement agents. Where have we heard that before? I'm beginning to think that any time somebody drives away from federal officers, now they'll get shot. I think that might be the place we're living in. Fearing for his life and safety, the person drove away. No, an agent fired a defensive shot. The driver drove off with the passenger, fleeing the scene. And once again, you're wondering, at what point when they drove away was the shot fired? Also, there already seems to be a lie in here because it says an agent fired a defensive shot. So unless it was like a Call of Duty style 2-for-1 that entered both of them, they must have been more than 1 shot fired. But again, this is breaking news. We don't really know. That could have happened. Bullets can travel, but we'll see. Anyway, that's a statement by US Border Patrol. Portland mayor has a different take on this, but what would he know? He only fucking lives there. He's only, got the community interest at heart. Portland mayor said, just 1 day after the horrific violence in Minnesota at the hands of federal agents, our community here in Portland is now grappling with another deeply troubling incident. Early this afternoon, 2 people were shot and injured by federal agents in the Hazelwood neighborhood. We cannot sit by while constitutional protections erode and bloodshed mounts. Portland is not a training ground for militarized agents, and the full force threatened by the administration has deadly consequences. As mayor, I call on ICE to end all operations in Portland until a full investigation can be completed. That's a reasonable request, I'd say. This is like explaining how Play-Doh works to 5-year-olds. I mean, the fact that it has to be said in the current year is is mind-blowing. Federal militarization undermines effective community-based public safety, and arguably I'd say just the social order, just the social construct, really. And it runs counter to the values that define our region, as in, not being pieces of shit. I will use every legal and legislative tool available to protect our residents' civil and human rights. I call on every Portlander to represent our values and to show up with calm and purpose during this difficult time. Portland does not respond to violence with violence. We respond with clarity, unity, and a commitment to justice. We must stand together to protect Portland. Those words are nice, and of course, any responsible, reasonable politician will say that, so not a Republican, not Trump. Trump encourages violence. They're good, but the point is, if enough people get shot, if enough injustice happens, it doesn't matter how much you try and calm down people. It's going to turn ugly. It already is ugly. People are being shot. Of course, people are pissed. Senator Jeff Merkley said huge concern about a reported shooting of 2 individuals by federal agents outside Portland Adventist Hospital. See, that is something I found myself out earlier when I was digging around. It happened outside a hospital. I'll find there's a picture of a vague picture of the crime scene. I'll try and find it again. But they're shooting people outside hospitals now. Like it's insane. It's insane. Maybe don't bring gunfire to hospitals. Maybe if they were actually members of a scary Venezuelan gang, which, at this point seems hard to believe as it's the de facto excuse for any shooting, maybe take them outside, I don't know, a gas station, a field. What's next? A preschool? I'm sure Margaret itching to shoot up a preschool right now, but Jesus Christ. Attorney General Dan Rayfield said this, right? We're deeply troubled by reports that 2 people were shot and injured in Portland today during an incident involving federal agents. We've been clear about our concerns with excessive use of force by federal agents in Portland, and today's incident only heightens the need for transparency and accountability. Just in case you don't know what AG means, Attorney General, that's basically the chief prosecutor for Oregon. Like, that's someone who's no fan of leftists, of liberals, This is someone who is firmly on the side of the state and the government. So when you have somebody who's firmly on the side of law and order and the state and government saying this shit is fucked up, this shit is fucked up. Here's that picture I found earlier. Federal agents have turned a hospital into a crime scene. So like I said, this sounds so reckless. It happened in a hospital car park. Adventist Health Portland, there was an area outside the hospital surrounded with yellow police tape, this image right here, with Portland officers and ICE agents on scene. Staff confirmed there had been an incident in one of the parking lots. In the middle of the roped-off parking lot, KGW saw a damaged vehicle with its doors open. And this is really concerning or strange. In a tweet, FBI Portland said it was a lead agency investigating an agent-involved shooting involving Border Patrol officers and 2 people that were wounded. They later deleted the tweet. It's like, what the fuck is happening? Maybe they found the video shows that not even the tiniest scrape happened, and they're like, oh, fuck, back to the drawing board. And this article also says that staff at the Legacy Emmanuel Medical Center confirmed the hospital was on lockdown shortly before 3:30 p.m. on Thursday. They put a whole hospital, a place of, of healing people, of making them well, and essential community service on lockdown because of the fucking insane actions that are happening out there right now.
It's just interesting as we hear from Homeland Security saying that this was a targeted vehicle stop, that the passenger of the vehicle was a Venezuelan illegal alien. These are their words, affiliated with a prostitution ring. The driver was believed to be a Venezuelan gang member. These are sort of the language terms we often see in Homeland Security statements here. But important to note that they are saying when agents identified themselves, again, these are Customs and Border Protection agents, the driver weaponized his vehicle and attempted to run them over. The agent fired a defensive shot. The driver drove off with his passenger. A little bit of an inconsistency in the statement, considering we understand both people were shot.
That's what I was fucking saying. I'm a genius. I should be on the news. I shouldn't, because I stutter a lot.
We're going to be trying to answer over the next few hours, including the condition of the victims right now.
That's true, and we don't know exactly where they are. However, we do know that earlier today, Legacy Emmanuel was put down into lockdown. And
now, an interesting update here. I found something online which claims, cannot verify this, of course, but claims to be a 9/11 dispatch log for this incident. I think it includes the report from the initial caller, the male who was conscious and breathing. Again, none of this is verified, just reporting what it says here. But apparently, according to his original call, if this is accurate, he said he was shot twice, his wife was shot once. Weird that DHS is saying one shot was fired, huh? Almost like they'd be downplaying something because they know it's incompetent or bad, but who knows? Speculation, I suppose. I guess added to this log is another caller who was from Border Patrol and said they shot at a subject that almost ran them over. The key word almost. At least yesterday, they're going to lean on the defense of like, oh, the car gently nudged him as she went away to drive away from them. It sounds like there was no contact. Again, we'll have to see as more evidence comes out, and sadly it's like, will the evidence even matter? But the fact that it looks like the initial caller is saying they almost hit me with their car, and 2 people got shot, it's out of control. And now I found the scanner audios. Hopefully that makes it slightly more official.
Medic 314 and Medic 321 on a shooting at the Bria Apartment, 0 Northeast 46 Avenue. Stage at your discretion. Police are en route. It looks like caller saying that he was shot twice by ICE and his wife was shot as well. Your talk group is Golf 1, Engine 7 with Medic 314 and Medic 321 with police en route. This will be a shooting at the Brea Apartments, 10 Northeast 146 Avenue. We have a male who was twice in the arm and his wife who was shot in the chest.
So that seems pretty official to me. Like, if that's AI, somebody did a great job. So it seems like the guy was shot twice in the arm, the woman was shot once in the chest. DHS is already saying one defensive shot was fired. They're immediately fucking lying. And this is why nobody trusts them anymore. I don't know if people trusted them to begin with, but there's no trust left for these people. What's that old saying? Something like, shoot me once, shame on you. Shoot me twice, stop fucking shooting people, you untrained fucks. Anyway, we'll keep bringing you reporting on this, so make sure you stay subscribed. I'm British Chris, and this is Raw America.